নমস্কাৰ। আজি আমি ডিছকাছ কৰিবলৈ গৈছোঁ ক্লাছ 12 ইংলিছৰ চেপ্টাৰ নম্বৰ 5 ইণ্ডিগো। ইণ্ডিগোৰ কুৱেশ্যন আনচাৰখিনি। চ' লেটছ ষ্টাৰ্ট। প্ৰথমখিনি ইমান ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট নহয়, কুৱেশ্যনটোৰ পৰা আমি আৰম্ভ কৰোঁ। কি লিখা আছে? হোৱাট ইজ ৰাজকুমাৰ শুক্লা ডিছক্ৰাইবড এজ বিং ৰেজলিউট? আনচাৰ: Rajkumar Shukla is described as being resolute because even after being told about the prior engagements of Gandhi at Kanpur and other parts across the country, he does not quit. He continues to accompany Gandhi everywhere. Furthermore, he presently asks Gandhi to fix a date for his visit to his native district, Champaran. His resolution and determination finally impresses Gandhi, and the latter compiles with his request. Question number 3 is: why do you think the servants thought Gandhi to be another peasant? Answer: Gandhi was a simple and humble man, dressed in a plain dhoti loincloth. To the servants, he must have looked like just another poor farmer in this country. Moreover, he was accompanied by Rajkumar Shukla, whom they knew to be a poor indigo sharecropper. Thus, when the servants saw them both together, they mistook Gandhi to be another peasant. Page number 49, question number 1. Brightness to অকণমান বঢ়াই দিওঁ। চাবা, page number 49, question number 1 আছে: list the places that Gandhi visited between his first meeting with Shukla and his arrival at Champaran. Answer: after his first meeting with Shukla means Rajkumar Shukla, Gandhi visited Kanpur, his ashram near Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Patna and Muzaffarpur before he reached Champaran. Question number 2. What did the peasants pay the British landlords as rent? What did the British now want to instead and why? What would be the impact of synthetic indigo on the prices of natural indigo? Answer: according to the long-term contract, the peasants were forced to plant 15% of their holdings with indigo and pay the entire harvest as rent. Now, with the development of synthetic indigo in Germany, the British landlords did not want indigo from these plantations. Hence, the shared landlords decided to release the peasants of Champaran from the 15% arrangement on the payment of a compensation. Development of synthetic indigo would lead to an increase in the price of natural indigo. Page number 51, question number 1. The events in this part of the text illustrate Gandhi's method of working. Can you identify some instances of this method and link them to his ideas of satyagraha and non-violence? Answer: there are many instances in the narrative that can be linked to Gandhi's idea of non-cooperation and satyagraha. One such instance is Gandhi's refusal to obey the court order asking him to leave Champaran immediately. Besides that, Gandhi's protest against the delay of court proceedings is also an instance of his belief in civil disobedience. Furthermore, Gandhi does not falter to plead guilty in front of the court. He accepts he is guilty but presents a rational case as to what made him disobey the law. For him, truth is above everything, and thus he decides to follow the voice of conscience and obey the higher law of our being. Page number 53, question number 1. Why did Gandhi agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers? Answer. For Gandhi, it was not the money but the principles that were of utmost importance. Of utmost importance. He believed that the very fact that the British landlords surrendered was of more significance than the percentage of refund. He wanted the poor farmers to realize that they to realize that they too had rights, and that they need not really live in fear of British landlords. Therefore, although he had initially quoted a 50% refund, he later agreed to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers. Besides, Gandhi was interested in long-term solutions rather than immediate benefits. His decision was proved right when, uh, years later, the British landlords decided to leave their estates, putting an end to the sharecropping arrangement. Question number 2 aside. How did the episode change the plight of the peasants? Answer. The episode of Champaran brought more than one change in the plight of the peasants of that district. These peasants gained confidence, which was evident in their spontaneous demonstration on the morning of Gandhi's trial. After the successful refund of the compensation, the peasants for the first time released their own rights and were liberated from the fear that had plagued them. This episode brought an end to the 15% arrangement of sharecropping. However, the most radical change that the episode brought about was in their social and cultural standard. Gandhi opened schools in 6 villages. His wife took uh, his wife took pains to make the peasants aware of the importance of general sanitation and personal hygiene. He even appointed a doctor. Page number 54, question number 1. Why do you think Gandhi considered the Champaran episode to be a turning point in his life? Answer. Gandhi considered the Champaran episode to be a turning point in his life because he realized that civil disobedience, which had triumphed for the first time, could go a long way in the freedom struggle. Moreover, he had succeeded in making the peasants aware of their rights and becoming confident. This success thus proved the uh, effectiveness of Gandhi's method of non-violence and non-cooperation. Question number 2. How was Gandhi able to influence lawyers? Give instances. Answer. Gandhi was able to influence the lawyers through his conviction, uh, earnestness, and pertinent questioning. Gandhi Gandhi reapproached the lawyers of Muzaffarpur for charging a large sum of money as fee from the peasants. Later, the lawyers from Bihar opined that they would return to their own places in the event of his imprisonment. But Gandhi made them realize that it would be uh, imprudent for them. Being lawyers from a neighboring place to return when a stranger was ready to get himself imprisoned for the peasants, so they agreed to follow him to jail also. Gandhi also convinced the lawyers not to seek support from an Englishman and be self-reliant. Question number 3. What was the attitude of the average Indian in smaller localities towards advocates of home rule? Answer. During those times, the average Indian in smaller localities lived in fear of the British. They were afraid of the dire consequences of helping the advocates of home rule. Hence, though they were supportive of people like Gandhi, they were afraid of showing it explicitly, and only a few could actually dare to come out openly. In the story, we find people like Professor Malkani, who had the courage to give shelter to Gandhi on the latter's visit to Muzaffarpur. Question number 4. How do we know that ordinary people too contributed to the freedom movement? Answer. In the chapter Indigo, Louis Fisher writes of how a small farmer Rajkumar Shukla from a small district, Champaran, helps bring about a very prominent change. Likewise, many other peasants from the villages fought courageously and contributed their own way to the movement. Their ultimate effort eventually resulted in their winning of Battle of Champaran and to finally free themselves of the sharecropping arrangement. Page number 55, question number 1. Notice the sentences. এইবিলাক question তোমালোকে নকৰিলে হ'ব বা নিজে কৰিলে হ'ব, ইমান এটা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট নহয়। Okay. এইবিলাক মই স্ক্ৰীনত স্ক্ৰল কৰি দিছোঁ, তোমালোকে স্ক্ৰীনশ্বট ল'ব পাৰা বা ভিডিঅ'টো ষ্টপ কৰি লিখি ল'ব পাৰা যদি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট বুলি ভাবা। চ' এইখিনি আছিল আমাৰ ইণ্ডিগ' চেপ্টাৰৰ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট যিখিনি কুৱেশ্যন আনচাৰ, আৰু বাকী নতুনকৈ কুৱেশ্যন বনালে ইয়াৰ এৰাউণ্ডতে ৰিভল্ভ কৰিব কুৱেশ্যনখিনি। চামাৰিখিনি মই ইয়াতে দি দিলোঁ, যিখিনি মেইন কুৱেশ্যন আহিব পৰা এক্সামত আছে সেইখিনি তোমালোকে ইয়াৰ পৰা বনাই লিখিলেও হ'ব যদি বেলেগ কুৱেশ্যন আহে। পাঠটো ভালকৈ বুজি ল'বা। থেংকছ ফৰ ৱাচিং। আগলৈ ভিডিঅ'বোৰ আহি থাকিব, চ' ছাবস্ক্ৰাইব দ্য চেনেল। থেংক ইউ।